Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Wednesday, January the 20th, Inauguration Day. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Trading with Confidence, Part 3, with Walmal. One thing you can be confident in is that these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. Now, one of the things about confidence, or one way to get confidence, is to take a step back and look at the screen and just look at the chart, stare at the chart, and just and not analyze anything, but actually just look at what you see. So right now we've got the monthly bars up, and in fact, let me turn off a couple of these indicators that are on, just so we don't have to stare at anything. And so we just turn them off. That's how you turn them off. So now we're just looking at the chart. And it's like, what do you see? If you put the crosshairs on, and if you don't have a that little scroll wheel on your mouse, if you hit Control F, it'll bring up the crosshairs. So you can see here, price is pretty much the same place right there at the monthly open from last month, or monthly close last month, right there. And you can see so far 4 months up. Then if you look down, we bring it down to the weekly. Once again, you can see where price is. You can see that high close, so you can see we're in a couple of these wick zones. And then you bring time frame down to the daily. And you can see where price poked through those wick zones and now it dropped below. So looking at the top three time frames, you kind of get a feel for where the market is, and that'll give you confidence. So when you're trying to decide trade direction, do I go short, do I go long? Walmal, how do you analyze the charts?
Well, basically, I do exactly what you just did, and it's just the idea of just, okay, where's the market? Where's the market been? And does that give any clues as to where the market is going? Now, of course, the market's going to go wherever the market wants to go, but at least it'll give you some type of feeling about, there's a good chance that it's going to go and do X, or it's going to go and do Y, whatever X or Y may be. And so it just gives you a little bit of a clue in, And, we're talking about, I think about, in the old days, if you went on a road trip with your car and you wanted to drive someplace, before the advent of GPS and all that, what would you do? I remember one of the first trips we took as a family, my dad pulling all the maps out, putting it out on the dining room table, probably a week in advance, just mapping out exactly where we were going to go, and how we were going to do it. Even in places like big cities that we'd have to cross through, what he would do if there was some type of traffic problem. And he had that all laid out in front of him. Well, why don't we do that with trading as well? Just get an idea, get a feeling about where price has gone, where, do we have a clue as to where it might go? And if it goes there, that's great. If it doesn't go there, what's our workaround? How do we work around it? How do we map around that, so to speak? So that gives you just a good feeling about what's going on. Because, one of the things that, in confidence, it's this idea that you have a trust, so to speak, that you understand what's happening. And where we get into trouble and we lose our confidence is because, okay, something didn't go as planned, and you don't have a plan B. You don't have a feeling of what to do. And I think that's the thing that we need to do in terms of building a confidence. Because when we looked at those charts, that you just went and flipped through, we saw some things. We saw some things that are going on. We saw the monthly chart, and we see that, right now, we're kind of close to the highs of the monthly chart going back, for a long period of time. Like, we haven't seen highs like this for 32 months. I'm looking at my chart right now. So that, that tells you that, okay, we're almost 3 years since we were this high before. That's pretty significant. Okay, now what is it going to do? I don't know if it's going to do. It's going to go higher. It's going to go lower. I don't know that. But what I do know is that we're at pretty high levels right now, and that's something that would tell me that we may get some type of pullback here, or we may continue expanding it. But I need to expect that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you go back here in September and you put the crosshairs right here at that close, you can see we haven't quite touched it, but we're getting close. Now, we're looking at the monthly chart. There's something else. If you hit your function 9 key, F9, you bring up a tick chart. And this is the only true chart. Everything else is data compression. If you've looked at some of my old videos, probably back in when I first started making videos, there's always been this argument about, anything below H1 is noise or H4, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, if anything below H4 is noise or H1 is noise, well then, if you add noise to noise, then you just get more noise. So that just makes sense. So this is the true chart. Everything else is data compression. Because what is a 1 minute chart? We look at a 1 minute chart. These are just the ticks that happen from the beginning of the minute to the end of the minute. No more, no less. That's all this is. And Walmal, we were trading long off of that. What was it? Line 64, 62?
Yep.
Now I'm
exactly.
ticked. We were
exactly.
Yeah, here traders, let me show you what we're talking about. We came down here using the new TRO 2021 tug of war candles, and we saw a 3-ball put in here, and then it touched it, and so we wanted to go long here, and I think we were out somewhere around the 62 line, 63 line, and then now prices just rocketed up. Because the other thing is, we're at the top of the hour. I remember 69 was the, right here, this was the open of the previous hour. Right here, and price just now shot through it. Because I took a trade, and I got in late because I hit the button. I think it slipped me 1.2 pips. I had a chance to make about a 0.2 profit. I was waiting for it to hit the next line, didn't hit it, reversed on me, so I stopped out, and then I had to fight my way back. But that's just trading. So, this is what we're looking for. So what's the confidence we have here? We see, well, it put a 3-ball in here, and it's putting a 3-ball in, it's consolidating, so it's got to go one way or the other. So let's see if it just reverses. This green candle cleared all this red, and you can see here, then this green cleared all this red. Now you've got more green than red, and it just moved up.
And that's just what the market does sometimes, and but at the same time, all we can do is just put some things in place that will go and protect us, and we know in the long run we'll be okay. We know that what will happen is that if we just follow the rules, we have those things in place, we'll be good. And yeah, we're going to take some nicks and take some bruises along the way, but at the same time, we're also going to get some wins. And if you got a good a good method and you got a good system in place, you come up on top, and that's the important part, and that's what builds your confidence. Is doing that, and that's part of also what you talked about in the very beginning. Going through the charts, all those higher time frames, because it's giving you an idea. Hey, what's going on here? I'll go and wrap myself out here. I took a Walmal trade last hour at the 60 line. Why did I do that? I went and did that because it crossed the 60 line. I took a short there, and I was up maybe, a half a pip or something ridiculous like that, and it shot against me, and I took a loss. Now, in retrospect, it's maybe probably not one of the better trades to go and take, because I was taking a trade where there's been lots of turns that have happened at that level. Probably, I always say that, yeah, you take the trade, but you also look left. Well, if I look left in that chart, what I see is I see lots of indication that price got down to that level and then took off out of it and went back up. Probably should have said, you know what? this is an hour. I'm not going to take a short on this. If I miss out, I miss out. You know, and then I did take the Walmal trade at 70, and when I took that, I went and got about 5 pips. I lost. I think I said to you, TRO, remind me if I'm wrong, but I think I said I lost 3 pips on the short. You know, so it comes out in the end. It comes out in the wash. So by the time I paid commission and everything else, I probably broke even, or maybe put a half a pip in the bank. Not very much, but at least I broke even. And I had other hours, you know, today where I did make money, so that's okay. And that's what you have to do, is have your plan in place, and you know that by the end of the day, you'll be in good shape.
Exactly. So let me scroll through the charts for the traders out there. Okay, all the gaps have filled on the weekly. You can see that. And you can see here how we broke the previous week's high and then now pulled back 40 pips off of that high. And then we come over. You can see once again, there's the opening range, the first day of the month. We broke through that. We pulled back. We broke through the monthly open earlier today, and that was a nice trade going north. And the monthly and yearly opens one and the same. You can see that here. We put in the yearly high today. We're 41 pips off of it now. You can see daily open, we're 56 pips above the daily open, 95 above the weekly open. Inside bar from 11 days ago, you had a trigger there at 36.41, which is the 40 zone, which I like to call the launching pad. On the day, 97 pip range, so we're still a little behind the range, I think, on the pound. We've got 4 pairs with ranges over 100. The buy zone, we missed another pivot. That's 2 in a row. In fact, the trader now wants me to add the code to do 3 in a row. And I was teasing him. I said, how much is it worth to you? But you can see buy zone trade right here. Price never looked back. And one of the things is, if you look at this, you can see it's just steady, steady, steady up. And now we're starting to consolidate right around this area here to pass 3 days or past 3 hours right here. Rats, red rats feasted right around the 3700 area or higher. Nice move there. Once again, if you were looking left, you can see where price was falling out through those wick zones, but it fell through the rat zone first. Oh, and if you're wondering about that big skull that just popped up, that's when you have the idiot mode turned on. So weekly upper rat zone, monthly upper rat zone. May return, may not. We have to wait and see. Pivot point, we missed it once again. You can see we crossed through that monthly open, and we actually penetrated the weekly R1 only to turn around and come back the other way. Pivot points, 2 missed pivots in a row. Let's see if we actually get 3 in a row. So I guess they want me to add that. How many in a row? Actually, I don't have it on this one. I've got it in the modified version, the beta version that I'm working on. So daily missed pivot, weekly pivot got taken out. So we're all good on the pivots there. Wick zone in and out. It dipped back a couple of times. Wick zone trades once again. Price doesn't like staying in the wick zones. And one of our daily trading charts, you can see the 3 ball falling down here, the usual price action. And right here, you can see off the 3 ball, price came through, went through the white space, and now is going through more white space. So, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is up once again. So hopefully some of these things that Walmal and I are discussing, you can pick up and add to your trading toolbox, so you'll have a little more confidence when you pull the trigger. Because remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.